PacWest Magazine is brought to you in part by Hawaii Tourism Authority. Discover the beauty of the islands at GoHawaii.com. We'll hit the hardwood to check out the exciting races and PacWest hoops with stops in Hawaii and California. We'll also meet some of the talented student athletes that call the PacWest home, including an AP women's basketball player born and raised in the Philippines, and a 6'10" BYU-Hawaii post player rocking the rims in Laie.
Aloha and welcome to the latest edition of PacWest Magazine from the campus of BYU-Hawaii on the North Shore of Oahu. The Seasiders have one of the most successful athletic programs in the country, having won multiple national championships. The BYU-Hawaii men's basketball team made it all the way to the national championship game just 2 years ago with players from all over the globe. Let's go check out this year's Seasider squad in action right now.
Holy Names University made its first appearance in the Cannon Activity Center as conference mates with home team BYU-Hawaii. The Young Hawk squad from Oakland, California faced a daunting task in taking down the bigger, more experienced Seasiders, perennially featured among the nation's best men's basketball teams. And in the first half, BYU-Hawaii dominated Coach Omar Vasquez's squad both inside and out, utilizing not only their superior height, but quickness and range. The Seasider offense featured its usual mix of American as well as international talent, with Weber State transfer Pablo Coro from Chile leading the attack. Coming off the bench to lead BYU-Hawaii in scoring tonight was redshirt freshman BJ Ford, who shot an outstanding 6 for 10 for the three-point line, including this tray to put some distance on the visitors. Another new face in the lineup was big man DeAndre Medlock, the 6'10" junior transfer from Fresno, California, who, like Coro, played Division I basketball himself, and he was a force in the paint all day. Here, Medlock and his teammates run Coach Ken Wagner's offense to perfection, with Coro finding Medlock for the big, uncontested jam. But the shell-shocked visitors from the Bay Area would eventually find their stride, with guards Richard Craig and Dalton Dale knocking down three-pointers to keep the Seasiders in reach. On this night, the leading scorer for Holy Names was Ian Collins. The Santa Rosa product played fearlessly, dropping 22 points for the Seasiders, taking it strong to the hoop plus the foul to bring his team within only 8 points of the home squad. And when Eric Frank hit this shot at a chance for another three-point play, BYU-Hawaii looked frazzled while Holy Names gained confidence late in the second half. But that's the closest the Hawks would get. The Seasiders returned to their run-and-gun ways to extend the lead back to 20 late in the game, with contributions from Ford, Coro, and Medlock down the stretch. Despite the never-give-up play of the visitors, BYU-Hawaii would go on to defeat Holy Names by a score of 94-75.
Well, it's a good win. I thought they played really hard, shot the ball well, and, I thought we played well, but we were kind of up and down. And, one of the things we need to do if we want to be as good as we can be is to play more consistently. And, we've had a hard time doing that, but I think we're getting closer and have a bunch of great kids with great attitudes. So hopefully we'll put it together soon where we really play consistently.
Hitting the big shots for the Seasiders were its newcomers Ford and Medlock. Ford, the hot shooting guard from Payson, Utah, led all scorers with 25 points.
Well, I just went in, wasn't really thinking about it, just went in and shot. The teammates made good passes and everything. I just shot the ball and didn't think.
BJ, is one of the best shooters. I've seen him actually coached his father. We have 3 players on our team where I coached their father, and so that's kind of fun. But BJ's one of them, and you leave him open, and he usually doesn't miss.
While Ford's path to BYU-Hawaii mirrored many of those that came before him, Medlock's route was a little more circuitous. But the Central Cali product has found a home as a force in the PacWest.
To tell you the truth, I just see red. It's just attack the basket, attack the basket, attack the basket. So if I have a wide open look, I'm not going to overlook it. So just go strong to the hoop, make a big play, give the team points. As you can see, I'm built more like a forward, but as I was taught in school, like I've always just been the back to the basket guy. Go get the rebound, block out, like back to the basket, do a little baby hook. So I'm a little old school. I was bouncing around a little bit. When I first got recruited, I went to UC Davis. Then I transferred to Fresno City College, and then I transferred back here. I went to BYU-Hawaii because it's a really good school. It can teach me some values here, and I just like the team and just everything that the program's about.
What is it like living in Hawaii for you?
It's different from Fresno, the Central Valley. It's really tropical here. There's beaches everywhere, so it's a different look.
As the season winds down, the Seasiders are positioned to achieve a spot in the first ever PacWest Basketball Tournament Championships. But these players know just making the postseason won't be enough, especially for a team just 2 years removed from the national championship game.
It's tough. It's very good competition. You have to bring it every night. I mean, it's not easy, and us being so far away. The road games are long trips. You got to be ready to play every game because every team can win it really in this conference.
Personally, for me as a player, I like the pressure to win and succeed, so that gives me an extra little boost whenever I just try and practice going hard every single day, just bringing it.
The BYU-Hawaii Seasiders, just another year in search of a championship in the PacWest.
I chose Division II because athletes graduate at a higher rate.
I can stay closer to home and be an important part of the community.
I chose Division II because I can double major
and take part in campus activities.
I chose Division II because classrooms are smaller.
Students have more time with their instructors.
And I can compete for a national championship.
I chose Division II for all these reasons and more.
I chose Division II.
Welcome back to PacWest Magazine right here on OC16. Here's a feature story from Southern California.
Kelly Hardeman.
Perhaps it shouldn't have been such a surprise that freshman Kelly Hardeman felt so comfortable when she hit the basketball court in her first season at Azusa Pacific University this year. Perhaps it shouldn't have been such a surprise that the 6-foot forward became one of the Cougars' leading scorers right from the get-go. The reasons for this come from Hardeman's family lineage. Her father was a top college basketball player himself, and her grandfather was a former collegiate head coach who coached most all of his Hardeman sons. One of those that Granddad Hardeman coached was TJ Hardeman, Azusa Pacific University's veteran head women's coach, who led the Cougars to an NAIA national title back in 2011, and who also happens to be Kelly's uncle. Hardeman and Hardeman have become quite a story in Azusa this year.
She really distinguished herself in our conditioning, in our lifting, in our preseason by saying, yeah, I'm going to be in that top group. I'm going to be in the top of the running. I'm going to shoot. She did work so hard that when it did become evident that she's really good, there was no question of, well, you're just playing because your uncle's the coach. Like, you're playing because you're fast and quick, you can shoot and do all these things. But that was, she really had to earn that. But then there's also that trust that, I don't know, I think probably any parent or relative feels when one of your relatives is doing well. It's like, well, that's just a little special blessing on top of it all.
He's my uncle, and it's really good because without it, I don't know where I would be. It's been really fun. Definitely more fun than I expected. I didn't expect to be playing as much, and just it's really fun. I love my team so much, and it's fun playing in the PacWest, and we're starting to do a lot better, so it's really exciting.
You know, it's a blessing. It's, again, I never saw her play a high school game. I told my brother, hey, make sure you work on this. I saw her play a little bit this summer. She came back and played with her family and different things, but it's like, well, and Todd said, yeah, she definitely played. My dad's was a college All-American at Westmont and is over there also and watched her. They all said, hey, she can play. And so I said, all right, I'll trust you guys. And boy, she really can play. We're excited to see that she's producing like she is as a freshman.
Kelly Hardeman was not highly recruited out of high school, primarily because she didn't play in the States. Kelly was born and raised in the Philippines, where Coach TJ himself also lived for a great deal of his childhood, as their family were connected with the church. Kelly shared a number of photos from growing up in the Philippines, thousands of miles away from where she would eventually go to college.
It was really a blessing. I think that I would have turned out very different if I hadn't grown up there. And just the people I was surrounded with and the community I was in was just really great. And my dad helped me with basketball and everything, and I had great coaches there too.
Well, my dad and mom went to the Philippines in 1958 when I was 2 years old, and they've been there ever since as missionaries. So I grew up there. Kelly's dad grew up there. I mean, our whole family grew up there. We all came back and played in college, and so it's just a little bit hard when you're in another country to have people see you here. But it was just a great experience to grow up in a country like that. It's just the same experience Kelly had, I had 30 years ago, you know, going to the same school, playing and everything. So it's really neat to see that develop in her.
I lived an hour out of the main city, Manila. It's very, like, everyone's super hospitable. So, like, you can go to, like, anyone's house and they'll, like, cook big meals for you, and it's really great. They're super kind, and it's just really fun because they, like, are so interested in you and always want to talk to you wherever you are.
Living in the Philippines was a joy to the Hardemans, and they embraced every bit of the culture, including the food.
Balut was the main one. It's just like boiled chick, but that's what I ate. And also they like put pigs on like the skewer, and you just like eat it there, so like the head's there, and it looks kind of nasty. So it's called lechon.
You know, she said balut, and I was saying I ate balut every night from about 2nd grade to 6th grade. Had no idea really what it was. Balut, for those of you that don't know, is a duck egg that at 21 or 22 days it hatches. At 20 they boil it, and then you just break it out and eat it. I've seen people lose Fear Factor, Survivor, all kinds, because they can't eat it. I cried every night, and they have a guy walking down the street who goes, balut, balut, that's selling it. I was like, Mom, I want balut. When I came back later, I've been back there a couple times, and they go, TJ, you want some more balut? I'm, that's okay, I had my fill when I was a little kid. But I think that's why I'm so healthy, though, is I ate so much balut as a little kid.
From the Philippines to Azusa, California, the Hardemans are making a huge impact on their campus. And with Kelly Hardeman, don't be surprised if she becomes a major star in the PacWest over the next few years.
A graduate degree from Hawaii Pacific University can accelerate your career path faster than you ever dreamed possible. Doors will open, you'll go further, and ultimately, achieve a higher level of success. Hawaii Pacific University. Get where you want to go.
It doesn't look like your average university, because it isn't. Just 12 miles from San Francisco is an urban oasis where students go beyond the classroom, helping businesses become sustainable, fighting breast cancer, athletes who excel and serve the community. And here, you don't just study history, you help make it.
Welcome back to PacWest Magazine. Now let's go to Southern California for more highlights.
Winning streaks sometimes hinge on a fortunate bounce or a big play. And such was the case for Grand Canyon University when they traveled to San Diego to do battle with PacWest newcomer Point Loma in early January. The Antelopes had just picked up their 12th victory in a row just a few nights before. All PacWest forward Braylon Pickrel vividly remembers his last-second shot at California Baptist, a long shot that bounced off the glass and helped lead GCU to an eventual win in overtime.
It wasn't even an end of the buzzer normal play that we would use. It was one of our plays we just call Horns X. Essentially, I just set a ball pick, and it's pretty much a pick and pop for me, but they also set a flare screen for me just to kind of help me get open. And that was the exact play call. The bank probably wasn't part of the play call because it definitely did not go in clean. But I shot with confidence. It didn't come off the hands right, but got a good bounce and went in and went to overtime and were able to take care of Cal Baptist.
That big road victory would mean the Antelopes would be going for 13 wins in a row at Point Loma, a streak that was the school's best for nearly 2 decades. The home team Sea Lions played a deliberate offense and kept the game close throughout most of the first half. But eventually Grand Canyon would take it up a notch, opening up a close game and stretching the lead at halftime to 9 points. The Antelopes were up 32-23 at the break. In the second half, GCU came out on fire, pushing the lead to double digits. Midway through the second half, that lead went up to 15 points, then 20, and eventually 22 points. Pickrel led the way during the surge and was one of a trio of Antelopes to finish in double figures. Pickrel led all scorers with 17 points, while Steve Morin had 14 and Josh Lowry added 12. But the Sea Lions would not go away quietly. Point Loma chipped away and battled back to pull within single digits with about 4 minutes to go. Grand Canyon had to regroup to finish out the victory, and they did just that. The final score read GCU 63, Point Loma 51. The 13th straight victory means Grand Canyon was off to its best start in 16 seasons.
Well, you get 2 wins. It's a good road trip. PacWest is a tough conference, and anytime you can go on the road and win, you're happy with it, whether it's an overtime win or you hold on kind of like we did today at the end. But league's really good, Bob. It's really good. Top to bottom, I think it's as strong as it's ever been. You don't go anywhere and go, that's a win. And I think it bodes well for, hopefully postseason play for a number of teams, and we certainly would like to be in that mention.
It's tough because Point Loma plays such a deliberate basketball game. They come down, they set up their stuff, they run their offense, they look for good shots. And so you can kind of get lulled into that sense. Like, we want to play a really fast pace, and they are completely opposite, which works for them. Obviously, they were able to come back and cut it to single digits, like you said. But it's just tough because we want to play fast, and they do a good job of slowing it down. We just have to kind of push our tempo and try and do that. Trying to push our tempo better than they push their tempo on us.
I think the big thing is you always want to win the conference and then get in postseason play, whether that would be in at large or to earn our way in with the conference tournament. But really this team is in the 4th year. We got a couple guys that have been with us 4 years, and we're just now, I think, starting to reap some of the benefits of the work that we've put in. Hopefully it's good enough to go a long, long way. And we learned a lot last year.
We want to win it all, and can't really say that if we don't, then our season was a failure, because there's a lot of other things that go into it. But we feel like we have the talent to win the PacWest, win the PacWest tournament, win the national championship. Obviously, a lot easier said than done. There's a lot of really good teams out there, even in our conference. Then the GNAC is real tough, and some other California teams are real hard to beat. We feel like we can do it if we just kind of buckle down, always focus on getting better.
Grand Canyon went to the NCAA Regionals a year ago and hopes the postseason is in its future this season too. Its final year in the PacWest and Division II. The Antelopes are still in the conference title hunt and should be one of the top seeds for the upcoming PacWest tournament in March when they come back to Southern California at Azusa.
practice. That half is over. It's done. And in this half, we have to outplay them, plain and simple. I know what all of you are capable of. I believe in each and every one of you. Now let's go out there and make this our masterpiece.
Welcome back to PacWest Magazine right here on OC16. And here's a feature story from Hawaii.
The island of Maui is known far and wide for beautiful landscapes, the sandy beaches and blue seas, and vacations of a lifetime. But in the sports world, the Valley Isle is known for much more. The annual EA Sports Maui Invitational at the Lahaina Civic Center, hosted by the PacWest's very own Chaminade University, who got off to a quick start in the 2012 Maui by taking down the Texas Longhorns in a major upset that set off a buzz throughout the entire Hawaiian island chain. But one win does not a tournament title make, and the Silver Swords were still 2 victories away from their first Maui crown. With a semifinal matchup against Big Ten power Illinois on deck, the team arrived to a hero's welcome and a charged student body that would energize the blue and white as they stepped into the gym to battle the Illini. Despite a solid effort by the Silver Swords, including 19 points from senior DeAndre Haskins, Chaminade could not pull off the repeat on this night. especially against an Illini squad that shot nearly 50% from the field, knocking down 11 three-pointers along the way.
We're amped up to play this game also. We just came across a really good team. They know how to play defense too. We had a harder time than we've ever had getting into the paint and creating things. We had 10 turnovers in the first half, and a lot of it was from penetrating, and sometimes we'd lose our balance or just lose the ball. He's a good coach. That's why he is where he is. But they can get after it defensively, and on the other end, they're like instant offense.
I honestly, personally, I need to look for my teammates more. Especially on that dribble drive. They were open. They were open a lot of times because they were, keen on me because what happened yesterday. And I got to do a better job of driving and kicking and looking for my teammates, and that's all around. So that's for me personally. But they're a good defensive team, and you saw the outcome.
Despite its finish in the Maui, Chaminade has bounced back to have an outstanding year in the conference season. The Swords are currently in position to receive a high seed entering the PacWest Basketball Tournament Championship in March, with the hunger and desire to bring the trophy back to Honolulu. Check us out at thepacwest.com to track Chaminade, as well as all 14 conference basketball teams as the season winds down. It's going to be another fast and furious race to the finish in the PacWest.
When you're transferring colleges, there is a lot of work involved. With Notre Dame, it was totally different. They were really hands-on. The admissions office even knew me by name.
Notre Dame Dana Muir University makes transferring simple and gives you access to the classes you need so you can graduate on time. Located in the heart of the peninsula, Notre Dame offers smaller class sizes, hands-on advising, and financial aid. You know where you want to go. We want to help you get there. To learn more, visit us at ndnu.edu.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of PacWest Magazine from the campus of BYU-Hawaii in Laie. Mahalo to Travis Cameron and his great team for helping us put together another awesome show. Come visit us on the web at thepacwest.com for all the latest news and information about the Pacific West Conference. For Bob Hogue, I'm Wayne Cueto. We'll see you next time on PacWest Magazine.
PacWest Magazine is brought to you in part by Hawaii Tourism Authority. Discover the beauty of the islands at GoHawaii.com.